Hello, my name is Matthew, and I've been working my way through the Norton anthology of English literature. And over the past few days, I've been reading the poetry of John Donne, and I'm mostly taken with his holy sonnets. Um, from what I understand, um, he was a Catholic at a time when Catholicism wasn't necessarily advantageous for his career choice, and um, reluctantly, he finally became an Anglican, which I guess is the Church of England. Um, but and there's a division in the poetry collected here in this anthology. The first half are mostly love poems or erotic poems or even nature poems, and the second half are more religious in nature. And these holy sonnets are beautiful, austere poems of a man contemplating his own mortality. And there seems to be almost a precedent for it. Um, and I think there's two reasons, but these aren't poems of the fear of dying in battle or the fear of famine or plague or um, the result of war, being a villager worried about being pillaged or plundered or anything like that. Instead, these are those abstract notions of the inevitability of your certain death. And I think there's two reasons for it. And one is that England has now become its own proper country. It's been fortified um, and relatively secure from other countries, and also has established security for um, its citizens. So there's significant less worry of the popular, like the majority of the country, of um, thinking about death as a immediate or seasonal danger, as a real threat that you worry about. Instead, the 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 kind of death that's in these poems are the worries that you have. It's very modern conception of death, of staying up late at night, just worrying about what happens when you die. You're gonna die, and you can keep yourself up all night. And the second thing that I think is not that people have never thought about that before this point, that um, just at some point you're going to die, but I feel like the public is now um, significantly more literate, and so there's a lot more um, reason or benefit to articulate these thoughts, not only for John Donne, but um, for the reading public to um, make sense um, in their private lives, instead of relying on the church to um, communicate ideas of death to you. These are poems that you would read privately late at night, and I'll read one. I run to death, and death meets me as fast, and all my pleasures are like yesterday. I dare not move my dim eyes anyway. Despair behind, and death before doth cast. Such terror in my feeble flesh doth waste, by sin in it which it towards hell doth weigh. Only thou art above, and when towards thee by thy leave I can look, I rise again. But our old subtle foe so tempteth me, that not 1 hour myself I can sustain. Thy grace may wing me to prevent his art, and thou, like adamant, draw mine iron heart. The religious poems, just they feel modern to me. There's an immediacy, and the thought process um, seems to be every bit as relevant and compelling, and communicated in a very clear way. And these are religious poems, but they also they have an eternal feeling to them. They don't feel dated at all, and even the language reminds me of something closer to the King James Bible, where there's like a majesty to the language that gives it its own seriousness and importance, and instead of um, feeling dated or frivolous. It doesn't have um, modern day slang or um, references to certain people or streets or um, really out of touch versions of what love is or anything like that. These are very um, personal, serious poems that can be read in any century. They're just beautiful. Um, so that's it, John Donne. I don't know too much more about him, but I enjoyed everything that I read. Um, but the holy sonnets and some of the other religious poems um, let me know why this is such a towering figure. Why you know the name John Donne even if you've never read him. Um, I got that impression, like that this is a very serious, intelligent, thoughtful writer, and capable. So, yeah, I really enjoyed reading John Donne. Um, Let me know what you think, what your thoughts are. Let me know if you like reading John Donne or um, anything like that. So, yeah, leave a comment if you would like, and um, thank you for watching. Thank you. Take care.